You know, I went to the bar last night and looking behind the bartender, and there's a couple of taps missing. I'm like, hey, what's going on? My better half wants her hams with a twist of lime. Don't ask. Her mom likes her PBR tall boys, and generally speaking, I'll get like a Widmer Blue Moon, which is a half a Weizen, because I know if I'm gonna have a few, that's not gonna really, you know, give me a hangover. And I'm like, well, where's all the beer? And he's like, yeah, we got no hams. And hams is kind of like one of the really cheap beers that they have there. He's like, yeah, there's no hams, there's no this, there's no that. I'm like, you guys going out of business? He's like, no. There's a strike at the distributor. Like, what? And it's kind of, it's a neighborhood pub, and because their signature food there is like hot dogs, and lately they don't have hot dogs there. It's like when I saw Taps missing, I'm like, man, I wonder if there's some financial difficulties going on. So anyway, it turns out that there is or maybe it's winding down, a strike of maybe the drivers for the beer distributors. Oregon's kind of a weird state. I live in Oregon, and some of the distributors are owned by breweries. What the hell is it? Like either Anheuser-Busch or SAB Miller. And it's weird to have a distributor be a brewery, because you can, if in this state where the state runs the alcohol, if the distributor decides they don't want to get some craft beers and move them around, and I kind of like craft beers, then you can really squeeze out some smaller breweries. There are actually a lot of states where it's illegal, I guess, for a beer distributor to be owned by a brewery, and that kind of makes sense. I know, you're going like, oh, what a hard life, you're having beer problems. So anyway, it's one of those things where I just kind of sat there, just drinking my beer, having a bite to eat, chicken sandwich, because clearly they're out of hot dogs. And you know what? I love microbrews. I love craft beers. And there's so many craft beers available in Oregon. That's kind of primarily what I drink, and I change it all the time. But you know what? If the distributors want to go on strike and I can't go to the store or the pub and get something I like to drink, you know what? There's alternatives. I know how to brew beer. I've brewed beer before. I'll do it again. And it's kind of like that way with vinyl. If the big three record company want to start making their records like $25-$30 for a new release, the CDs are not that much. I got a CD player. I'll listen to CDs. Stop pricing your vinyl so goddamn high. Hey there, vinyl community, music lovers, anybody who clicked on the wrong link. My name's Tom. You're watching my channel, Rant District, and this is going to be part 5 out of 7 parts. We're getting there, of my review of 2015 releases on vinyl that I bought this year. Only reviewing records that are brand new music, not reissues, and not compilations, just brand new music, new records, LPs only. And let's talk about, I've got, what are we up to? Like June, this is going to be records that were released in June, July, and August of 2015. I got 7, I know how to count, 7 to show you this time. And I'm going to start out with the debut LP from a band called Institute. The album is called Catharsis, and actually, that's not even the album. It's kind of a wraparound print, limited edition, number 124 out of 250. Let me get this out of here. It's kind of a neat silk screened print. I didn't open the wax seal. That's the Sacred Bones Records logo. Sacred Bones is the label. I dig their stuff. Let's see here. Slide the album out. Okay. Catharsis is the album by the band Institute. It's an Austin punk band. Their debut LP. I dug. I think last year I got their EP. It's a 7-inch EP called Salt, and the single Salt is really, really good. So I was really, really pumped to check out this album. Let's see. There's a peek at the label. It's rock. You know, it's punk. It's primarily punk. It's also referred to a bit as post-punk. There's kind of a mix of, you know, if you want to go genres, and excuse me with the genres if I get this wrong, but like it's kind of a mix of punk and post-punk. It's like it's got kind of a post-punk style guitars, and the vocals are kind of like behind the guitars. Guitars are more out front, but the lyrics and the delivery of lyrics are very punk. I don't know if that tells you anything. As usual, I'll put a link to one song on YouTube from in the description down there. I hate doing that because I'm kind of pointing at my junk, but in the area below this window, I'll put a link to a video of one song from each of the albums I show, because I'm terrible at describing these things. I really dug the album. Good stuff. And I'm on the Sacred Bones Records mailing list. You know, they're worth keeping an eye on. Next album, Institute or Catharsis by Institute, came out on June 9th. Then on June 23rd, I've showed this before, he's got Leon Bridges' album, Coming Home. That's his debut. He's from Fort Worth, Texas. The inner, it's got a nice inner sleeve. Got some lyrics on the back. And the album is actually inside, if I can get it out. It's in a poly sleeve that slides into the heavy-duty outer inner sleeve. It goes back into the record. It's a mix of gospel and soul. It's a little bit calmer maybe than normal soul, the soul that I'm used to. It's really, really good. It's a little bit mellower, but good stuff. And he came to Portland, where I live, recently to play a show, but he was playing in an auditorium, which is just seating, and it's kind of a ritzier place, and it just felt weird to see soul in there, so I decided I wasn't going to do it. And it's just the wrong venue for soul. You should be up and moving around. But dig the album. Good stuff. Then on July 10th, we got Negative Scanner, post-punk out of Chicago. She's the lead singer, and it's just a blacked out teeth on for the sake of the album cover. There's the back. Inner sleeve right here has lyrics on the flip side. It's the vinyl is on I guess Clear Smoke. It's on Trouble in Mind Records. There's what the label looks like. And post-punk sound, female vocals. I enjoyed this a lot. It's you don't always get female fronted post-punk, and I dig post-punk. And sorry, Mabuhay Ka, if I'm pronouncing that right. I know I'm driving you crazy by every time I say the phrase post-punk. I know you die a little bit. My bad. But great album. I really enjoyed that. And then next up, got the album is called Two-Headed Monster by One Row Vision. It's a Steve Rowe fronted band. This is a limited edition. I got number 45 out of 150. It's still available, and it's the Rocks Records Underground Series. Aaron, the jazz theologian, was showing this record he got from Scott Waters. Now, I don't know, but I think Scott Waters works with or for or is Rocks Record, which is Christian metal label, and they're putting out this series, Rocks Records Underground series. This is a limited edition of 150, and I think once this sells out, then their next limited edition, which will be like a small run, it's only 150, then they'll put out the next record. It's kind of a look at the band. It's rock, it's metal, it's hard rock. The vocals are kind of raw, which is kind of cool. I guess maybe I'm just kind of used to like vocals nowadays being so, I guess, auto-tuned or polished. And that's not to slight Steve Rowe, who I assume is doing the singing on this. I love the vocals on this. Jumped out at me when Aaron spun it, when he got the VCLT from Scott. And I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend picking it up. It's probably still available at if you go to Rocks Records, Google it or Yahoo it or Bing it or whatever. And it's really cool. And pretty sure that on all their orders they send the CD as well is included, which is very, very cool. So you got the CD and the album. Maybe a little bit pricier than, maybe like $20 some odd, but I really enjoy it. It's limited, and I know Aaron was making fun of it. It's not making fun of the album, but the way it's marketed as pure Australian heavy street rock. Like, what in the world does that even mean? But it's metal, it's good, 3-piece band, great vocals. Really enjoyed it. Props to Rocks Records for putting this out. Good stuff. Next up, and that came out sometime in August. Then I showed this recently. This is a Don Giovanni Records release of The Warriors. It's post-punk, indie rock. It's labeled as post-punk, I think, on Discogs, but it's indie rock. Female-fronted, guitar-driven, strong female vocals. I've talked about this before. I enjoyed it a lot. It's got an insert that's blank on one side, but it's the lyrics right there. Here's a look at the label. Good stuff. All right, number, what do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6. The band is called Palehound. The name of the album is Dry Food. There's a look at the back. Came out in mid-August, August 14th. It's a rock record. Indie rock. It's really indie rock. It's their debut LP. It's on Sunnyside. It's called Sunnyside of vinyl. If you look close, it's a white vinyl. The back side, side B is all white, but side A is white with some yellow around the edges there. It's enjoyable. It's side A is a rocker, and side B just kind of takes it down a little bit. Side B is a little bit too quiet for my taste. If the whole album sounded like side B, it probably wouldn't be a keeper. But side A is so good that this is a keeper for me. Not sure I'd recommend it to everybody, but I've already got it in my hands, and I like side A a lot. And maybe side B will grow on me, but it's a keeper. And then the last one I'm going to show is, I think they're from, I forgot where they are, maybe up in Ottawa or across the river in Gatineau. Fuck the Facts. And is the name of the band. The title is called Desire Will Rot. Came out on August 25th. Look at the back. It's a metal album. Grindcore, I guess you would call it. It's got an insert with some lyrics on the flip side. The vinyl is a very cool looking splatter there. Just straight ahead grindcore metal on the first side. The second side gets a little bit more melodic, kind of goes in a few different directions. I enjoyed it a lot, but if you're not into the hard and the heavy, it's not an album for everybody. But if you like metal, dark, heavy, good stuff. It's on Noise Salvation, made in the Czech Republic. And I can't remember, I might have got it from their Bandcamp, ordered through their Bandcamp page. And I remember I showed this a couple videos ago, but they had sent me a DVD of a movie with the record. It's hilarious. Not the movie, but just the fact that they would include something like that. I dig when bands do that. Props to them. Fuck the Facts is the band. Desire Will Rot is the name of the album. And if you like grindcore, give it a shot. So this was an unusual stretch of records. This is my June, July, and August pickups. 7 records. All are keepers. I think it's the first kind of run of good records that I got there. The previous 4 videos, I think I was running at about 75% of the records that are probably keepers. Anyway, I'm going to shut up, let you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with episode 6. See you soon.